Philadelphia, are you ready?
They said, are you ready?
This is Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast, your first stop for everything professional wrestling. So sit back and enjoy wrestling talk at its finest with your hosts, Larry Hall and Joe Corrado.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another rendition of Brotherly Love Wrestling Podcast. I'm Joe, this is Larry. If you haven't been here before, welcome for the first time. I don't usually do these intros because I don't like to, because I'm more of I gotta play off of Larry after the intro, and I like to interrupt him. And I'm waiting for him to try and do the same, but
No.
he just doesn't get it.
No.
He just doesn't get it. So, basically what we'll be touching on today, Fastlane, any rumor mill shit that's going on throughout the wrestling world. We'll talk some AEW Dynamite. We'll talk some Elevation. And I'm sure there's some other shit going on. You got the schedule.
Plenty.
Come on.
Yeah, we
Fucking
got
come
plenty.
on.
Let's start last Wednesday because we had one of the, I'm definitely going to say, one of the greatest women's wrestling matches, period. Up there with Banks and Bailey at TakeOver. I mean, it was amazing. It was great.
I can't compare them because they were two different style matches. I think they were both great on their own, but I don't think it's fair to compare.
Not to compare, but just as far as quality and entertainment.
Oh, absolutely. It was
by far
fantastic. One of the best I've ever seen. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, those spots, Britt Baker's spots they looked painful. Very, very painful. The thumbtacks.
Oh.
When she landed, and she just,
Yep.
It was just like, you could feel that through the screen. And I think that was, one of the tipping points to why it was, so, as soon as that spot happened, you're like, this was great. And then it just, heightened it even more. It was the main event, and rightfully so. I mean, if they can harness this and use this for the rest of the women's division going forward, I mean, not every one of them has to be a hardcore style match, obviously, but if they can use, somehow use this momentum, I mean, now you know who your two big stars are. Neither one of them are the champion, which is the biggest problem I see, is that neither one of them are your champion.
Is it a problem or is it a good problem to have? Because at least that means that your champion doesn't have to be front and center.
Well, here's the thing. You want your champion to be front and center. You never want your champion to be the afterthought. Your main champion to be the afterthought. So there's other people that are overshadowing her right now, and that's a problem. It's not a bad problem to have, but it's a problem because I think they both, Britt Baker has almost been ready since she got there to be the top of that division, to be the face of that division, but they haven't. She got hurt, which kind of stinks, but, her promos have been excellent. Her ring work has been great. She's got one of the top characters in the women's division. It just seems that they're not ready to pull the trigger yet. It keeps... And they keep
on her?
On anybody right now, because she's been having great matches, but they tend to be the same matches. How many times are you gonna face Nyla? How many times? They're almost getting to the point of where, okay, we're WWEing it now. But without the bigger division.
The only thing I think a positive of it not being the champion being featured, even though I agree that obviously the champion should be number one, but
I think after last week, this is both of their push. I think Britt Baker's next in line, and I think if she's not, then even though she didn't win the match, which Thunder Rosa technically should be next in line, but
she's going back to NWA anyway.
Not for good.
Well, because obviously they're running again, she'll at least we'll be able to see her.
She'll be doing double duty, but Britt Baker should be the next in line. I think she should win the title.
I agree. You should capitalize on this.
And I think that
popularity
breathes the breath of fresh air that you need in that division. I think it finally gets it going. But yeah, I mean, that was the most talked about thing in wrestling, I think, last week until WWE started WWEing things like they usually do.
But before we go back to WWE, the other thing that we honestly haven't touched on our show because we've been having so many guests on is...
It's a good problem to have.
It is. The Inner Circle...
Split.
And yes, got destroyed by MJF, who started the Pinnacle. And now you have these two big factions that are going to... Now you have someone for that Blood and Guts that got canceled because of COVID. So now you can do that with these teams, this War Games type match.
Is that what it's going to be, a War Games type match?
Well, that's what Blood and Guts was.
Okay.
Well, it was supposed to be. It was supposed to be...
Well, you have now... You have a better feud going into it anyway. Now you have a blood feud.
Exactly.
This is better anyway.
Yeah. But the whole landscape of MJF now having this faction, which everyone swore was going to be this Four Horsemen faction, but now it's the Pinnacle.
There could have been plans for that, and it could have changed. Obviously, we don't know what happens behind closed doors, but I think whatever this final product is, I think this is better for everybody. I mean, you have the mouthpiece, you have the flair. And MJF, and then you have the tag team, and then you have someone who will greatly benefit from this in Shawn Spears.
Am I alone in thinking that Wardlow kind of is in the way of this?
No,
and kind of like I feel like he just sticks out. Like I feel like it would be better the way without him.
No, because this is what I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna sound stupid because one of their nicknames is literally. What I'm thinking that Wardlow is that he's the enforcer. He's the big guy. And I know that sounds stupid because in the Four Horsemen, literally Arn Anderson's nickname is the enforcer Arn Anderson. Yeah. So, but when you look at Wardlow, you think, holy shit, this guy's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not taking anything away from him by saying that. It's just because you said you have the tag, you have the mouthpiece, you have Shawn Spears, which can grow into the chairman. Yeah, you have Tully, which plays the J.J. Dillon role. Like, and not that they have to be the Horsemen either. They don't have to have the same thing.
No, I don't think this is going to be... I mean, there will be parts that will feel Four Horsemen-like because it's a good nostalgia act, and it's arguably... the greatest faction to ever have lived in any wrestling era.
Yeah.
Arguably, I mean, I don't know, man. I think they're 1 or 1A. They might be 1.
The Horsemen are 1.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I think it's the Horsemen and everyone else. So you use parts of that, and you have a former Horseman, and you have another former Horseman who works for your company that, who knows, could get involved as well. And everyone had thought that Cody was going to be the one to jump ship.
Yes.
But, I mean, this just feels right. This is an upgrade from the Inner Circle.
Yes.
Big time.
And I think it helps out those guys because, I mean, I always thought that Santana and Ortiz have been underused, have been hidden by the Inner Circle, and need to go branch out to be that dominant tag team. But now, obviously, it's not going to happen. But at least now... There, like you said, there's this blood feud, and everyone's going to get elevated from this spot.
After Blood and Guts, Inner Circle is no more. Is that what we think? Sammy Guevara,
I would kind of hope so, yeah.
Gets to go out on his own and do his own thing, and the whole group just disintegrates, and now you have a new group that is your heel, quote unquote.
Yes.
Even though they don't believe in that, is your heel faction.
Yes.
Is probably the faction that could run roughshod throughout all of AEW, and they probably should.
They should carry all the titles. You should get Spears with the TNT. You should get obviously FTR with the tag, and have MJF
finally
get that world title. And unfortunately for Wardlow, maybe down the line you find a way. But
I mean, there's always someone that could turn. True. And I think Wardlow would be your easiest one because I think that he could flip to an easy face.
Yeah, and then it's one of those big guys that...
Spears has been working this angle that he doesn't want to be... He wants to completely counter... Because, I mean, in NXT and WWE, he was uber babyface with the 10s.
Yeah.
So he wants to get as far away from that. So I don't think he wants to go back. But I think Wardlow would be an easy flip. And then you can even run a Wardlow versus Spears or Wardlow versus MJF angle. And if you really want to elevate him, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
So he would have to be the one to break free. But for now, I think we just enjoy everything that's going to come from this faction. It really is a shame, though. It seems like factions seem to be their thing.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like everyone's got to be on a team. You have the Jungle Express. You have the Nightmare Family. You have Pinnacle now. You have the Elite, who are kind of not the Elite. Now they're the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
It's just like... And that's all your top stars are all faction bound.
And Team Taz.
Team Taz, another faction.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like everyone is... no one is alone. Everyone has someone.
Yeah. For the most part.
There's no... Even your biggest loner isn't a loner anymore. Your biggest loner, he's the guy that's going to stand out and be a loner. He's not even a fucking loner anymore.
Nope.
So who's the one that can break free in AEW and stand on their own? It would have been MJF. MJF doesn't need anybody else.
You're right.
He's going to be the face of this faction. But he still has someone.
And as we're talking, another one comes to mind is Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy with Private Party.
And now...
is all together. But, they tried Hangman. But, Hangman...
Dark Order.
Is with Dark Order.
We forgot Dark Order.
That's what I was going to say.
So everybody who is the star that stands alone?
Kenny.
Kenny's in the Bullet Club. Kenny's got the good... Kenny is not alone either.
Yeah, that's true.
Who's the one that doesn't need a mouthpiece? Who's the one that doesn't need a Heyman or a Don Callis or Taz or anyone? Who's going to be that?
Miro?
He's with someone.
I know. But
how are they... he could. Yes, he could.
Because you even have Orange Cassidy with Chucky T and Trent. Everybody, now that we're thinking about it, is
everybody
together.
has someone. And either they're a tag team or they're a part of a group. Everybody on that roster has someone. Who's going to be that person that can break free and be on their own? Who can be... Because you're not going to be a megastar in a group. Flair did it, but Flair is an anomaly. If you look at all the other groups, who's the big... You could say is the big breakout star. Reigns, but you have Rollins and you have Moxley. Even Moxley is with Eddie Kingston right now. Moxley, another one of your biggest loners, is no longer alone. Who... Because you're not going to be a megastar. And I know people will disagree with that, but you're not going to build that megastar unless they have some sort of freakish pedigree about them. Lesnar was a freak.
Yeah.
He was a genetic freak, and he was destroying people. We're also going back to where there was more characters and things were a little different.
Yes. Yeah.
And we're bringing it back, and it's unfair to do because there are different times in wrestling. But you're not going to get that one person. Now, there's nothing to say that you're not going to get a group of people over, but... They won't be to the magnitude, I don't think, of a one huge megastar.
That's a good question. I don't know. That's a good question. I can't believe we've never thought of it like that before until putting it all together right now.
I don't know if it's a topic that's ever openly discussed or people actually think of because you just want to enjoy it for what it is. But if you think about it, there is nobody that is going to break out and be a breakout star. There is nobody.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
The women are all you got because they're not in groups.
Yeah,
the women are your only solo acts. Now there's plenty of I feel like they feel bad breaking people away because there are standouts in every group. There are standouts. They're using these
to your point. Then how the hell do you grow your company if you feel bad leaving some people?
I don't know if I use that terminology poorly. I don't know if they feel bad, but. They're using it more okay, we'll stick the strong person and it'll elevate these people.
Yeah, feature the strength, hide the weakness.
Kind of. You're not really hiding the weakness.
Well,
you're just trying to use everybody that's good. Like Jericho, heightened Sammy Guevara, and that's pretty much all.
To help develop him.
Yeah, yeah. He was kind of under his wing.
Yeah.
Santana,
even MJF for that matter. For these past 6-7 months, you can't.
I know Jericho didn't carry MJF though.
No,
MJF
no,
already has it. He already has it, and he's already. It's Sting is now elevating Darby Allin. Taz is there to help with
Starks, Hobbs, Cage,
and his son.
Yeah.
Starks could be the breakout there, I believe.
And actually, now that I think about it, as we said this. Cage is by himself. He left Taz. Well, he walked away from them. We don't know if they're split yet.
That's going to be a story development
there
in itself.
Yeah.
We have the Death Triangle.
Yes, man. And just the longer we talk about this,
the
we
only
keep coming up with
person
more.
that is by himself, kind of, is now Lance Archer.
Mm-hmm.
He's
because Jake's a manager. That's not exactly.
And a manager, I'll give it some leeway. I'll let it slide. Having a manager, because sometimes having a manager can still elevate someone. I mean, look at Hogan had fucking Jimmy Hart.
Yeah.
You just have to be bigger than the manager, which is hard to do when you're with someone like Jake the Snake, who has.
But if Jake keeps talking on the mic like he is,
people are going to easily forget about him.
Exactly.
But is Archer your next big breakout star? I mean, he could be.
He could be. He deserves to be, and I think he needs to be. Him putting him against Sting whenever they eventually get to that is a great idea.
You give him that in the right direction.
Exactly. So I hope so. I hope in a year's time.
And now we have Christian Cage.
True. There's the only one.
But is he Christian Cage, who already has a history and who was already a star? Like, he's not going to be your next megastar.
Well, as far as I thought you meant,
he's not going to break out. He could easily break out and be a megastar, but I mean,
he's already
there. That. He's already a Hall of Fame, quote unquote, type career.
He's a Hall of Fame talent, according to AEW.
Well, he should be in the Hall of Fame. He just isn't. They just keep fucking us up. I know he's definitely not going to get
it. No time soon anyway.
So those are my. I'm not going to say those are my down points, but those are my things that I'm going to think about now that I watch AEW, which will make it more interesting for me, at least, to be like, all right, well, who am I going to see be the next breakout star for them? Because you're not breaking out when you're trying to elevate people.
Yeah.
You have to actually be out on your own, I feel.
No, yeah, I get that. Yeah, absolutely. But so that company, it's going to be hard to do, like you said.
I'm interested to see who are the ones that are going to be the breakout, though.
Yeah. I hope, like we said, it is Archer. I hope he is that guy, but we'll see with now
I think
what's going on.
Once Trent gets back, I think Orange Cassidy will be more on his own.
Yeah.
Because the best friends were doing their thing. I mean, Orange Cassidy was there, but I mean, the problem is when you're running angles, now you're running group angles. Like now your group is involved in these
course,
angles, which kind of hurts because it's not so much a singles.
Yeah. Well, I want to stay on Wednesday for one point that I just read earlier today.
Okay.
So on Wednesday on NXT in the main event, you had Karrion Kross and Balor versus the tag team champions Burch and Lorcan.
Okay. I like the way that they went with that.
Yes. Unfortunately, Burch had a shoulder injury, and they are vacating the NXT tag team titles. Announced by William Regal earlier today on Twitter.
So what are they doing for?
We will find out on Wednesday night, and he will announce.
So are they going to do a tournament? Another tournament?
You're going to do a tournament after just having a tournament? I don't know. I can't see it.
Do you do a tag team gauntlet match?
That I was thinking that, or like, because look, Takeover is less than 3 weeks away.
Well, yeah, you announce it for Takeover, but do you do what is a tag team match? I mean, do you do a TLC match and have the titles hanging over the? Like now that I've spoken into existence, now
please, universe, if you're gonna pick up anything that comes out of his mouth, pick that up.
That was a good shot. I mean, you took a fucking cheap shot, but it was a good shot. I'll give you that one, you asshole.
But yeah, that would be amazing. A TLC match, NXT.
I'm trying to think of the best tag team matches that we have ever seen, like triple threat or multi tag team matches. I mean, TLC's it.
Yeah.
So you'd have MSK, Grizzled Young Vets, and who would be
the third?
Who would be another tag team? Unless you just
put Imperium in it?
Maybe.
I mean,
or you put Escobar's guys.
Yeah, you probably.
You could do a fatal 4-way and even have you could do, because now you have leading the WrestleMania. You do qualifiers.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have 2 more Wednesdays.
Before Mania?
Before Takeover.
Well, that's Mania. That's Mania weekend.
Yeah. Well, but that's what I'm saying. You have 2 Wednesdays and then the actual Takeover Wednesday and Thursday.
So you run 2 Ooh.
That's what I'm saying.
2 qualifiers per and get 4.
Yeah.
So you do. What about Breezango?
And you, I mean, it's hard. I don't know.
It's
I
hard.
can't wait to see on NXT how they do it.
Well, you don't have Undisputed Era anymore.
No. Again, that's going to be how they come up with it. It's going to be interesting to see.
I think the final solution, though, we're in agreement, is TLC.
Yes, absolutely.
So, however
By
they
far,
get there,
yeah.
I don't care. But
And whoever
just
is
get
in
there.
it, yeah, absolutely, I agree. All right, so let's move on to WWE, and we'll go to Fastlane, because I was hearing seeing a lot of reaction to the first hour and 20 minutes of that pay-per-view, and a lot of people were disappointed, which I see why. It had its moments where I was just wasn't into it.
WWE always tends to play it safe come Mania week.
Yeah.
Or Mania build. So having this pay-per-view altogether, I think, was a mistake. I don't think there should be another pay-per-view right before your biggest pay-per-view, like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Or what, 3 weeks?
Yeah.
You don't need this pay-per-view. There was a couple very interesting things and one really good match, but you don't need to have a pay-per-view just for that. Like, you can designate, the last half hour, 40 minutes of SmackDown for that main event.
Yeah, absolutely. But and that's the thing.
But that's the thing. They don't like to give things away for free.
Yeah. But
You have to pay the $9.99.
I was a little disappointed in the women's tag match. Just it kind of looked a little wonky to me.
I've been disappointed with the way that they're doing the whole women's tag division. I like that they actually have women's tag teams now, that they're actually starting to do that. But I don't like... I'm not going to say that I don't like it, but I'm a little confused to why they did NXT women's tag teams when you only have 2 NXT women's tag teams. I think that was better as a merry-go-round. You just go from show to show. You show up in NXT, you show up in Raw, you show
But
up in
how
SmackDown.
often are those champions going to show up on NXT? I think that's the problem. Because you have so many
in
women.
Florida.
I get that. I'm not saying like actually doing it, but I'm just saying as far as storyline goes, and on Raw and on SmackDown, how many women you have that you want to try and get featured on USA and on Fox, pulling them back to go against one other tag team, taking away from all the other tag teams on the bigger shows, that's the problem.
I don't see that as a problem because now you're elevating NXT too.
I just don't. I don't. See
And if
them
someone from NXT
actually doing it,
if someone from NXT wins, then those titles stay there primarily, and they float around periodically from Raw to SmackDown, which I think should be it anyway. If anything, there should be NXT, or the NXT should be the women's tag team champions, and they go throughout that. But their main show is NXT.
yeah. I'm not a big fan of them either. I agree with you, but
It's just that they introduced them, and they introduced them just for Bayley and Sasha. And they really haven't... And then they kind of mix-match tag teams together, which they do for the men as well.
well, yeah. After the Iconics lost,
And then
that's when they started doing
they
it.
split them up. So now, there is no legitimate tag teams. Now you're making tag teams, but now you're taking away from your singles division. Now you only have literally 1 or 2 people that you could see challenging for the title.
Yeah.
Like SmackDown has Bianca, Sasha, Bayley. Like those are the 3 that I think are your main challenges for that title. And then Raw has Asuka, obviously, is the champion. Now you have Rhea Ripley, and you kind of have Charlotte.
Yeah.
Now, who else is going to challenge for that title? Who else could you see? I mean, the rest are in tag teams.
Yeah. Lana and Naomi.
You got Baszler and
Baszler.
Nia.
Oh yeah. Mandy and Dana Brooke.
I mean, do you really see them challenging for, who the heightened women are, and the rest are kind of playing role playing as, oh, now we're a tag team, and now we're going for these tag team championships.
Yeah.
So you know who the top dogs are. I mean, and Carmella was in there for a little bit. Now she kind of disappeared and is looking for a new sommelier. Is that the word?
I think you're right. I think you're right.
We're going with it, even if it's not. sound smart.
Let's move on into the card. I thought Big E and Apollo Crews was a very good match.
They continue the story.
Yeah, and that way it ends up at Mania. I'm good with that. I like that feud going on. Nakamura Rollins, as excited as I was for the in-ring potential, because there's such a lack of story there, I could not.
I think the story
is the
was,
Cesaro.
Yeah,
I get
it's
that.
Rollins and Cesaro. This is just,
all right. So I feel like it's a weak story to get me invested,
That's
and
true.
I don't. I wasn't interested.
Who the hell's fighting for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship? Like, Rude and Ziggler still have them, right? Where the hell have they been?
That's a good question. I have no idea.
The SmackDown Tag Team titles are non-existent because they have no tag teams on SmackDown besides the Street Profits and
Rude and Ziggler,
and that's it.
Maybe that's why it's just okay. A week before
We have-
WrestleMania,
Yeah,
we're
but
just going to put that on.
Yeah, that's gonna be the pre-show.
Yeah.
There's no build.
Yep.
There's no build, and there's no reason for those tag team titles to even be in existence right now.
Pretty much.
There is tag team wrestling suffers so bad in WWE. Suffers.
Yeah. Since the end of Ruthless Aggression obviously still had some really good tag teams. So probably about then the PG era died.
It hasn't been resurrected yet.
And you thought with people like FTR and War Raiders.
Well, who you had in your NXT, in your quote-unquote developmental, who were putting on, and then you had DIY. You had all the tag teams. You had them all. All you do is bring them up and let them put on a show. And now you have not, like... NXT should just be the tag team wrestling.
Yeah.
And you can't do that because you need to push...
Yeah.
But here's the thing. AEW does it, and they do a good job with it. You're telling me NXT can't do a good job with it either? It's just that they've been doing it so well for so long that they're just, like, tired of it? Because NXT was the tag team wrestling mecca.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
And everything, before AEW was even in existence. I mean, then you had New Japan, which was great as well, but American tag team, NXT was it.
Mm-hmm.
And now AEW's around, and AEW has all these tag teams, and they're the best tag teams going, and they're actually able to be seen and go out there and do their thing, and given the time, WWE just is completely flat.
Yeah, dropped the ball big time.
And it's terrible. It's terrible because you have so many people that you can utilize in the tag team. They just don't do it. There's people chasing a fucking 24/7 title that could easily be put into a tag team. You're telling me Drew Gulak can't find a tag team as much as I love what Daniel Bryan is doing,
I love in your head.
I changed it.
You switched that quickly.
Well, I was gonna say Daniel Bryan and Drew Gulak would be a phenomenal tag team.
Yeah.
But Daniel Bryan's kind of going for a world championship right now.
Kind of.
And it's kind of, Bryan should be elevating at this point. He'd be elevating someone.
I think that's coming. I think that's coming, to be honest, after Mania.
They had it with the Bar. They
Yes.
broke them up. They did.
And even before that, they still had no tag teams and just put them together.
And it worked.
And it actually worked.
Yeah, it worked really well, and it helped with that division. Then you had the Good Brothers, who you mismanaged from day one.
Mm-hmm.
You had the New Day, who will always be there in the top.
Yeah.
And then, FTR, like you said, or the Revival, whatever you want to call them.
Yeah.
It's just that, where has tag team wrestling gone?
I don't know.
It's terrible.
And it's a shame because it's not like they don't have talented people that can put on good tag matches.
No, it's just bizarre to the point of where it's just non-existent. Like, you don't care about their tag team matches.
No, unfortunately not. But
here's the thing, though. Tag team, it helps the rest of the card.
Well, that's the thing. It's the elevation of, and not only that, elevating the card, but then breaking up. Like, having 6 or 7 singles matches in a row can be boring, no matter how great they are.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter. Tag team wrestling brings the diversity to wrestling. And you can tell so many different stories with tag team wrestling and 4 people in there.
It's different.
Yeah.
It's not a singles match. Like you said, there's just so much more you can do with it. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't make any sense.
No, it really doesn't.
It just doesn't. It's terrible. Like, you could pick on little things that each and every company does. That's a big one.
Yes.
That's a big one. As talented as the sea of wrestlers that they have, every gender.
Mm-hmm.
They suck at tag team wrestling. They really, do.
They really do. Well, let's move on to the rest of the end of the card.
Because that's really when it got,
it got substantially better.
We have The Fiend, who came back and is now Goo-Face.
Yeah. Yeah, I was so worried when his hand popped up and the smoke came up and you couldn't really see his face. In my head, I'm going, oh God, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. Don't make him look stupid.
Do you think that they succeeded?
I think it as realistic as someone who burned alive came back looked. Yeah, I think it looks good. I think it looks faded. It looks burnt. It looks melted. Like it looks very.
Is this his transition? Does he go from Birdman to something else? Or is he going to stay Birdman for a while?
Maybe
maybe
for a while.
I think after Mania, he's got to be.
He got to be dipped in the lake of reincarnation. That's what he's dipped into. He needs to give his buddy Matt a call and be dipped in there, and we'll be good to go. We'll come back in.
He can't be Birdman.
I know. No,
he
not
can't
forever.
He can't be Birdman for a while. He's got to go somewhere else. This. You're not winning anything as Birdman.
Yeah. No. Well.
You're going to beat Randy.
You're going to beat
go
Randy
over
at Mania. Yeah.
Maybe.
Nah,
because he lost the last time he faced him.
Yeah, but no, I think
the fucking weird worm ring match.
No, I think he'll go over at Mania. But then Bobby Lashley. I want to talk about Sheamus and McIntyre first. Sheamus and McIntyre. That match.
That was very good.
A war, and you could tell they were laying it in hard. Like it was a hard hitting match.
They needed to.
Yes,
that was like your big wow match of the night. Like holy shit, these guys are killing each other.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, I loved every second of it. I thought they did an amazing job.
So McIntyre, which I think a lot of people kind of thought went over. Mm-hmm. So now it's McIntyre versus Lashley at Mania.
Yeah.
Which I think a lot of people had already predicted. But
yeah.
There's still the rumors and the people. I don't know if it's not rumors. It's people trying to will it into existence that Brock Lesnar will come back and challenge Bobby Lashley. I don't think
it's going to happen. I think it already would have happened.
Here's the thing. No, I don't. Because you don't need a build. It's already been building. You can bring Lesnar back the week before. You can bring him back the day before Mania. They're not going to do that because they actually have tickets to sell. But I'm thinking they just released them and they're already sold out. So you can bring Lesnar in now.
Of course.
A day because it already wrote itself and make it a triple threat. Who the fuck cares? He's got history with both of them. And Lashley's been pining for Lesnar for how long now?
Since he came back?
Yeah.
And before that when he was here the first time?
Yeah, when he was here the first time. So this is what? Over 10 years in the making?
Probably, yeah. Well, and speaking of triple threat matches...
Did I segue?
Yes, you did.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, we have the Reigns and Daniel Bryan match.
Oh, so you're thinking that this is going to be made into a triple threat?
Absolutely. If anything is tailor-made for a triple threat match and Daniel Bryan to have his WrestleMania moment, it's this.
Another WrestleMania moment?
Yeah.
He's already had his WrestleMania moment.
He deserves another one.
But do you think he gets it?
Yes, I do.
You think Daniel Bryan is inserted into this match again and wins at WrestleMania?
I think Edge takes the submission or pin, whatever way you want to end it, and Roman doesn't take the pin, so he doesn't take the loss, so you keep him still good, untouched at this point, and Edge can put over him, and that's fine, and then Daniel Bryan can run into the sunset, go on his Legends contract, and his wife and his sister-in-law can come back and win the tag team titles and elevate the women's tag team titles. See how I did there? I put everything back together.
You think that saves the women's tag team titles?
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. But I do believe that will.
If anything, if I'm a woman in the back busting my ass weekly and the Bella Twins come back to win these titles.
You mean how Goldberg did to the men? Did.
Absolutely. I'm not a big fan of that. Like, I've openly said that I'm not a big fan of that.
Can you not see it happening?
I can see it happening because, look, they have already been proven commodities. The Bella Twins sell.
Yeah. For sure.
But you can't get anybody else to get to that point. Like, you literally can't get anybody... Like, this person sells. Like, this person... Like, why can't you get anybody else to do that? Because you haven't built them.
Yeah.
Nobody has been built. There's always that one person.
There's the five girls that you have that are marketable. Everyone else, can't get over. Or
Or
can't
they-
get over to a substantial enough level.
And when they do get them over, they squash it right away.
Yeah, that's true too.
Like, I'm so worryful of Bianca Belair if she wins this title and what they're going to do. Like, are they going to... Here's your WrestleMania moment. It's like, as soon as you get your WrestleMania moment, like, here, we gave it to you. Now, we don't know what the fuck to do with you.
No.
And it's not even...
I hope not. I
No,
really
that's what I'm
like
saying.
Bianca.
But, like... and it's a negative aspect to have, but... Or opinion to have, but... Their track record isn't great.
No, it's not. Not even close.
Like, Ronda Rousey won it, and they kind of floundered that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, they didn't know what to do with Ronda. Like, the baddest woman on the planet. They didn't know what to do with Ronda Rousey. Like, what? How? Like, how is that even possible? The only person they know what to do with is Charlotte.
Yeah.
And it's just like, she's your top. Like, because she has the pedigree. She has the name. She didn't necessarily have to get over the same way that everyone else did. She had her dad come out, and he got her over for her. I mean, I'm not taking anything away from Charlotte's wrestling ability, but you have to add, like, she had Ric Flair. Ric Flair is known culturally throughout all sports, TV, everything. Like,
Pop
that
culture,
helps.
everything.
That
Yeah.
helps. Like, no one else has that.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, okay. Like, it's not fair. It's not fair.
Well, and this is great, but speaking of Charlotte Flair,
Okay, segued again.
at around 11,
I didn't even mean to do it.
11:30, after the pay-per-view, that WWE came out and said they have agreed on a release for her fiance Andrade. So that happens, and then that same day, that next morning, Monday morning, Charlotte is removed from the WrestleMania graphic, which has been made months in advance. They know what they're doing, so it's months in advance.
Very petty.
Very petty. And
But it's his business, so who are we to say what's petty?
and now leading into Monday, all of a sudden, Charlotte was nowhere to be found and replaced by Rhea Ripley against Asuka, which everyone had pegged Asuka Charlotte at WrestleMania.
Charlotte was on the poster and Asuka wasn't.
Yep. Yeah.
That goes to show you right there, like, okay, who's our draw?
Yeah, exactly.
Now are you just punishing her and she's going to come back and be just as big? Or are you going to actually try and make a star out of this one?
Well, the thing is...
Because here's your opportunity.
The rumors that are going around, I was reading today, that and they are, obviously, they are rumors, so take it how you want it. But the word is Charlotte went to WWE and basically said...
Requested for Andrade's release.
Said, you have to...
I want to put out a request for a release.
Yeah,
Not
no,
my release, but
yeah.
someone else's release.
Said, basically, yeah, gave them an ultimatum and said, you
An
need
ultimatum.
I didn't say that, you did. I said ultimatum. And
An
said,
ultimatum.
you have to release him. And apparently Ric Flair was behind her and supporting her. Shocker.
Literally standing back behind her and going,
Yeah.
woo. Every time she saw me, it just popped his head, woo. And I want, Dad, stop with the fucking woos. Woo, woo, woo.
But the other thing was WWE turned around. Now, again, all rumor, don't know, just saying what I read, is that they told her, okay, we'll release him, but you will miss Mania this year.
Okay.
And calling her bluff, basically. And then, so she apparently said yes, so why? That's why.
This is a publicly traded company.
Exactly.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. This is like the dumbest business decision. Like, yeah, that's like your kid. Like, okay, you're not going to clean your room? Well, you're not going to be able to watch whatever.
Yeah.
You're not going to be able to watch the finale of Seinfeld.
Odd choice, but okay.
Maybe it hits a little close to home. You'll never know. That's like, that is their... I lost you.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Come back to us.
Go ahead, I'm here. I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's do it.
He's back.
Yeah.
I don't think he's back, but we're going to go.
Go ahead.
So that's the equivalent of what they're doing. Like, okay, you can ask for this, we'll do this, but you can't have dessert.
I got you.
Like that's
it's very childish.
When you're
of course, we don't know.
You
if
have
this is
a you have $1 billion company.
Yeah.
Like that's not like
But could you not completely see them doing that?
No,
though?
I can't. I
Really?
can't see them doing that.
I can see.
No,
I can definitely see them doing it.
Maybe back in the day, but not now. Not with social media and all this shit. Like I don't know. I can't believe that. Like, look, you have investors that are investing in your product. Like, you can't run your company that way.
I don't know.
Like, honestly, like,
but then of course,
I can see her going to them and being like, I want, like, having an actual, like, sit down meeting and be like, look, I want it, like, a professional meeting. Like, people are making it sound like she bursted into McMahon's office and was like, stomping her feet. I demand you release my fiance. He needs out. Like
that's kind of how I envisioned it.
Yeah, that's how people, because that's how it's portrayed to you, and that's why you envision it that way.
Yeah,
like it's a sit down meeting. Like, look, you have your talking points and whatnot. Like, I don't think that thrown out there is that, well, you can't have WrestleMania. Well, it very well could be, but not in the fashion that everyone.
Yeah,
like it's not it's an agreement. Like, okay, this year you're not at Mania. Like, it's not an ultimatum. Like, she's got her mind made up. Like, this isn't to try and sway you. Mm-hmm. Like, this is just saying, okay, we're tit for tat.
Well, and of course, as of last night on Monday Night Raw, comes out, or Asuka says that she has COVID. Or, no, Ripley said that Charlotte has COVID. And then she confirmed it on social media. So she
Which is what you have to do now.
Yeah, and so, of course, like we said, Ripley has now replaced Charlotte from everyone else's eyes, what they thought was going to happen anyway. But I don't know. I don't think think that it should stop her from being on Mania if it's COVID.
No.
And that's why I'm confused.
No. I think partially that this is like maybe she said maybe it wasn't them saying she can't work Mania. Maybe she said I'm not going to work Mania until you release. And then they're just like, you know what? You're not working Mania. Mm-hmm. Maybe she gave them an ultimatum.
Yeah. Well, look.
And Vince said, what the fuck am I going to do with this?
We have the matches so far for night 1 and night 2.
Okay, I want to hear them.
So, night 1, we have Lashley and McIntyre.
Night 1?
Night 1.
Okay, because Roman.
Banks, Belair.
Night 1. But we don't know main event.
New Day versus AJ and Omos.
Okay. So far, I like night 1.
And, well, I'll quickly stop that for you. Miz versus Bad Bunny.
I can take it or leave it. I mean, I'm not gonna be up in arms about it. Like, look, now they need to do this. This is just like Mayweather versus Big Show. This is just LT versus. Obviously. Well, let's hope it's not LT versus Bam Bam. Let's hope it's not the main event.
No,
but. I mean, he's a draw. He's proven.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's had that freaking title at the Grammys. He's had it at Saturday Night Live. I mean, this guy has helped WWE. Bad Bunny has helped WWE.
He's just not for us.
I mean,
I
mean, that's the thing though. He's not for me. Like I don't mind saying. I think he's doing something great in helping Archer. No, that's his nickname.
Priest.
But wasn't he the Archer of Infamy or some shit? Either way.
I don't know what infamy is.
Infamy Hardaway. Got him again. I'm on a fucking roll.
But I know. I'm just saying, when they brought him in for the 18 to 34, 35, whatever the hell it is.
The demos or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, that's why they brought him in.
For a different culture. Different, like, you're bringing... Not only that, but I wouldn't say age group, because there could be 4-year-old people that listen to his music. I'm just saying that you're bringing in a completely different demographic. You're bringing in new fans, which is what you want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like people that aren't necessarily wrestling fans that are going to now watch this guy on TV because he's got 12 million views on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Or however many. There's probably more than that. So I'm not going to... That doesn't stump my momentum. I still think night 1 is really good. Have they announced anything for night 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Night 2, we have 4 more.
Okay.
Obviously, we have Reigns and Edge.
Okay.
We have Asuka Ripley.
Oh, okay.
Orton and The Fiend.
Okay.
And Shane and Strowman.
I like night 1 better so far because I think that... I don't know how much more Fiend and Randy can actually do. I'm sure it'll be good, but I think... they're at the end. I think this has to be.
Yeah, of course.
They can
I
pick it.
agree.
They can pick
I
it up
think
later.
most people think
but
that.
how long is Orton going to go? Like,
I think this is the end for Orton Bray. This is going to be.
I mean, Orton doesn't really pass the torch. He just kind of elevates you to where you should be.
Yeah.
Like, he hasn't passed the torch yet.
No.
But when he does, I imagine it'll be someone worthy of passing the torch too. Kind of like who they should have done it with everybody else. But I think Orton will be this guy that will actually pass the torch.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think, but we still have a lot to go.
Cena tried to do it with Reigns, but they weren't having that.
No. And we still got SmackDown coming up on Friday, which I'm sure at least 2 more matches will come from that.
The Strowman Shane just fucking kills me. It absolutely kills me. To why they make that a WrestleMania. That helps nobody. Who the hell is that helping? Strowman sucks, and Shane, what the fuck is he gonna do? He's gonna jump off of something.
Yep.
I mean, that's it.
Yep. Well, I think it's
Or
going
he's
to
gonna
be...
get thrown off of something because Strowman's gonna throw him the fuck 40 feet down through a table.
Look, he cut the promo after everything. That
It's been
he's
hard.
He's tired of him running.
It's been unbearable to watch.
Yeah,
those two.
But
Shane sucks on the mic anymore.
Yeah, he was never great on the mic in the first place.
Yeah, but Strowman sucks real bad, so Shane ain't helping anybody. Like, neither of them two. Like, it's just like, get this fucking... This is terrible. This is not WrestleMania worthy. This is Fastlane. That should have been a Fastlane match. That should be a match you stream on YouTube. Give that match away for free. That match sucks.
Well...
That's not WrestleMania. I mean, I know WrestleMania has their fucking stinkers, like Strowman and a kid to win the tag team titles. Like, he should have been pushed a completely different route, and he got goof the whole way. Yeah. He drew, I'm a big guy, but you're a goof.
Mm-hmm. And now you have McMahon calling him stupid.
Yeah.
On national TV.
Now you're a stupid goof.
Yeah.
Well, you're not the monster anymore. Yep. You're not a train. You're nothing. You're literally the goof. You're the big goof.
Can't stand that gimmick, yeah.
He's nothing. That's not WrestleMania worthy. They should take that out and put anything else in. Anything, literally anything else they should put in there.
Well, we still got a lot of, I don't know about a lot, but a good amount of matches to add.
You probably have maybe 4 total.
4 more?
4 more, 2 on each night.
Yeah.
Because they'll probably stick it around like 3.5 hours each night and make it a 7-hour total.
So we are assuming we have the Fight Forever match, and that's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn coming.
No, take Strowman and fucking McMahon off and just put that on and give that 2 time slots. No, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me that's not the idea.
I would sign up for that right now, but
take that and just give them both time slots. Fucking that match will get less time than Strowman McMahon.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Nah, I don't know.
It's awful.
But all right, so I want to end on this and something completely different.
Okay. I'm in for that.
But it's something that we have been touting for weeks now on our show, and that's Ring of Honor.
Oh, okay.
The 19th anniversary show is coming up.
Yeah.
And so Dragon Lee got hurt.
So they're going to have an open for the television title?
No.
Okay.
Instead, Kenny King is going to fight in the match representing Dragon Lee. I couldn't fucking hate this more.
Okay.
This is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. So Kenny King steps in not only for this match, but for the tag match as well that Dragon Lee is going to miss out on.
Okay, that's just bad luck.
Yeah, it's bad luck, and I'm not going against Dragon Lee for like the injury. I can't stand that this is how you do it. Look, UFC does it. Someone gets hurt, and you have an interim title.
Yeah.
A match for the interim title.
NXT did it.
Yeah. And that way, then you have that champion. That champion holds it as long as he can. The real champion comes back. You have a champion versus champion match to determine. And who better than Bryan Johnson to go in, since he was the last one.
He'd end up losing to Danhausen. They'd end up having a match, and he'd end up losing. And Danhausen would be the television champion.
Has this happened in wrestling before, to your knowledge, that someone represents someone in a title match?
Yeah, it's happened before. I don't remember when, but I've definitely heard of it before.
It just sounds so weak to me.
It is. It's not.
Especially for Ring of Honor.
It lacks creativity.
Yeah. As soon as I saw it bothered me to no end.
That's like the honorable thing to do, though, is that you have someone step in for the champion. Like, your teammate steps in. Like, that's the honorable thing to do. Like, I don't think Kenny King wins this match. I think they crown a new. I think this is their way to crown a new television champion, but this is your interim champion because you never beat the actual champion. It's just a different way to do it. So I'm trying to ease your mind a little bit. So who do they have? Who Kenny King is facing yet?
I can look it up real quick. I believe. I mean, obviously, the match should have already been set, but I just don't like the idea. I don't like the stand-in thing. It makes. I think as far as wrestling goes, like, no, man, settle it in the ring. Give someone else a chance.
Kenny King is a former television champion,
and I like Kenny King. I just don't like the You could put anyone said that anyone's going to step in. Tony Deppen could step in for him, and I still wouldn't like it.
Well, that's the thing, though. I think this is your way of crowning a new champion. This is your way of making the interim champion instead of just giving someone the title. This is your way of earning it.
I'm sorry. The challenger is Hot Sauce Tracy Williams.
Okay.
So, Kenny King versus Tracy Williams for the ROH
So,
TV
I
title.
think Tracy Williams wins that match. And I think he is your TV champion. He's probably next in line anyway because he's been one of your best wrestlers that you have.
So, and that's the weird...
And then you have someone that I don't believe that a match that you've had before. So now you have Hot Sauce versus Dragon Lee.
And you're going to get it twice in one night because Hot Sauce and Rhett Titus will be in the tag match that Kenny King is taking over for Dragon Lee in.
Okay, so now maybe you don't do it that way. So now maybe you make a different tag
either
team
way,
match.
Dragon Lee was facing Tracy Williams twice that night as well.
Okay.
So either way...
they booked themselves into a corner for that one. So,
yeah.
I mean, it is what it is. I'm sure the matches will be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Not like the people in that whole situation, all of them are talented as hell. I just don't like the whole, hey, he's going to represent me in this match. No, fuck that. Give me a match. Do something interesting with it.
Like a tournament?
Yeah, well, no, I don't know if you could do
it that quick.
Way. Something, yeah, just something. Something better than my friend
they don't really
step
operate.
in.
They don't operate that way, like the Fatal 5-way.
No, yeah. I don't know. Just something I saw and it bothered the shit out of me, so.
Well, the way to end on a fucking negative. Debbie Downer.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. I really couldn't.
Okay, so that's it. See ya.
Well, yeah, we do have an episode coming out Friday morning. We talk with Max Zero, who just had a big match on Saturday at Camp Lee Prague Camper's Choice. It was a great match. If you haven't seen it, go. I don't know if it's up on IWTV yet, but it is on Independent Wrestling's Facebook page. It's a great event from start to finish, and the main event delivers. But
if you're on social media, you already know what happened.
Yes, yeah.
And you got to see the result.
Yeah. But we had him on the show after the match. Well, not directly, but last night we had him on. It'll drop Friday. It was a great talk. You find out all about what went into the match, what goes into the character.
And we get weird.
Yeah, as usual. Yeah. And this took a lot of different turns. So be sure to look out for that, dropping on all available platforms. Please like, subscribe, give us a 5-star rating, help us out. For merch, check out our What a Maneuver site.
You can do this.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. It's a little better. So we hope you enjoyed the show.
I did it better.
Yeah, much better. And we'll be talking to you soon.